4 pale ales. 3-star awarded, 1 wild card. Let's see which one shines beyond the pale and the price tag.
Welcome to Great Taste Ed Reviews, where I taste award-winning food and drink and ask whether these great taste stars really deserve the hype. These stars come from the Guild of Fine Food, judged blind by industry experts. Each episode, I take one food or drink category and compare a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, plus a wild card with no stars at all. And because great flavour isn't always great value, every product gets a 1 to 5 value score. Then, I crown the best all-round choice.
Episode 10. Ales. Let's rate the ratings. This is Juicy Chug Hazy IPA from Jiddler's Tipple, which earned a Great Taste Star in 2023. Descriptions of this beer emphasise its juicy, fruit-forward profile with sweet apricot and hop character, along with a soft, luscious mouthfeel from oats and wheat, typical of the haze style. There aren't many broad retailer reviews, but product descriptions and customer impressions suggest that people enjoy the soft, juicy fruit and easygoing style here, while some hop purists might find the hop impact restrained. Let's see. You'll notice that I'm using a small glass for my tasting today. This is just personal preference because I love to drink ale ice cold, and topping up a small glass over time just helps to maintain that desired temp. At just 3.8%, this will likely be soft and light on the palate, but as an Indian pale ale, I am expecting it to be intensely hoppy. So it has a definite hazy appearance, quite opaque, which is to be expected with a hazy pale ale. Gentle apricot on the palate with surprisingly low bitterness for an IPA, which I don't mind. It makes it very easy to drink, very refreshing. As it opens up, the citrus and tropical aroma starts to become clearer, and it has a really long finish. This is very tasty indeed, and dangerously drinkable. It's not a particularly strong IPA, so I think it's a good choice for long social hangouts, especially if you don't want to get too intoxicated. But did it deserve its 1 Great Taste Star? In my view, yes it did. It's a very pleasant hazy IPA that does what it sets out to do, even if it's not the most complex I've ever tasted. I paid £3 for 440 millilitres from Sainsbury's. Not a bad price for this quality and style, I feel. So my value for money score is a 4 out of 5. Time Better Spent is a juicy IPA from Tap Social Movement, and it was awarded 2 Great Taste Stars in 2025. The brewery describes it as a hop-forward, juicy IPA with tropical fruit character and a soft, hazy body, in a New England-inspired style. Across public beer rating sites and social posts, drinkers frequently mention the juicy tropical flavours and smoothness, with some noting that it's more about easy drinking than strong bitterness. Let's see. At 5.1%, this should have a fuller body and a richer hop character than the previous. Hazy Golden, with quite a punchy tropical aroma. It's got a creamy mouthfeel, and it's quite citrusy with low bitterness, which makes this a very refreshing pale ale. I think this is the type of ale that would feel like a reward to drink after a long hike under the summer sun. And I think it would be great to drink with some tasty pub or barbecue grub. But did it deserve its 2 standout Great Taste Stars? It's certainly very drinkable, but I just don't think it quite reaches that standout threshold. It's just not complex enough for me. I was expecting a much bigger tropical punch than this ale delivers, and sadly, it lacks length. The flavour evaporates after one sip. It's just not standing out as a memorable flavour on my palate to warrant its 2-star accolade. In fact, I'm not even sure this deserved 1 great taste star. Now, at £3.75 for a 440ml can from Waitrose, it's an okay price for quite a juicy and tasty IPA. For that reason, my value for money score is going to be a 3.5 out of 5.
This is How's the Serenity, a Vermont-style pale ale from Gun Brewery, awarded 3 great taste stars in 2024. It's described by the brewery as a soft, pillowy pale with tropical fruit and hop character, unfiltered and unfined with a hazy body and rounded mouth feel.
Online ratings showed this beer scoring positively among drinkers for juicy, hop-forward flavour while still being sessionable. Some people appreciate the tropical fruit character, while others find it gentler than more aggressive pale ales. Let's see. So, with a 3-star rating, this beer should not only stand out from the crowd, but also taste truly exquisite. Not an easy feat when there's so much competition out there. Let's see if it delivers. Pale golden with a soft haze and a fragrant hop aroma. As this is a pale ale rather than an Indian pale ale like the others I'm tasting, it should taste a little less bitter, but not too much because it is described as having been unfiltered and unfined. So it should still have those hop and malt flavours, but hopefully balanced well with the fruit. Yep, tropical citrus and light mango sweetness here, with gentle bitterness. It's balanced, it's juicy, and it's drinkable with lots of character. If you like Brewdog Punk IPA, this is very similar, but I do think it's punching a little bit harder in terms of flavour. Now, did it deserve its 3-star, truly exquisite rating? It's certainly an outstanding ale, which I'm enjoying a lot, but it's not blowing me away. I think I've had better in the past. For me to give the elusive 3-star rating to an ale, it would have to taste better than any other ale I've tasted before. I'm not sure this does. I would, however, certainly award it a 2-star outstanding rating. Now, I paid £2.35 for 330ml from the brewery's site. I think that's excellent value for what you get. So, my value for money score is a 4.5 out of 5.
This is the Outland West Coast IPA from Badger's craft brand Outland. The brewery describes it as a bold, hoppy Indian pale ale brewed with Amarillo, Cascade and Mosaic hops, giving it a deep bronze colour, punchy citrus flavours and a powerful hop character, classic traits associated with West Coast style IPAs.
Retail descriptions for this West Coast IPA from Badger Brewery highlight citrus and pine hops with a dry, bitter finish. A classic West Coast profile that appeals to fans of bold bitterness, but can feel quite straightforward if you prefer soft, hazy IPAs. Let's see. At 5%, this IPA promises to pour a deep bronze colour with a solid head. Apparently this is very typical of West Coast-inspired ales in the United States. True enough. You definitely get a citrus and pine hop aroma, just as Tesco's product notes highlight. Lots of bitterness up front, with citrus zest and resinous hop character. It does feel bold, but it doesn't layer in a huge amount beyond that core hop profile. So, should it have earned a great taste star or more? No, I don't think so. It definitely delivers its signature West Coast IPA citrus and bitterness, but doesn't offer the depth or balance I'm looking for to justify a great taste star award. At £2.95 for 440ml from Tesco, this is a competitively priced IPA, especially given that it is a craft style IPA. But given the straightforward hop profile and limited complexity, I think my value for money score would have to be a 3.5 on this occasion. After tasting all 4 ales and balancing flavour and value, one stood out. My star choice today is How's the Serenity from Gun Brewery. It's not a truly exquisite example of a pale ale, but I think it offers the best balance of flavour, value and drinkability out of the 4 ales reviewed today. I highly recommend you try this. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe and tell me what category I should rate next. More stars and more flavour and value judgment next time. Let's rate the ratings.